Hi Aquarius, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into this, I'd like to set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Quick side note. If any of you right now are trying to manifest somebody into your life and you've been thinking about this a lot, one of the keys to being able to do this is to know that just as you would set intentions for other things, like you want to get your business off of the ground, or you're trying to get good grades, or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest for yourself, there's also there's always the importance of setting that intention space and truly believing that what it is that you're trying to manifest is going to come through for you. Because I was getting this as like such a big message when I was meditating on the energy. It was all about truly taking your faith and your belief and allowing that to empower the energy that is going into what it is that you're manifesting. Because for some of you, there may be something even half-heartedly that you're trying to do, and there's a sense of needing to fully commit to that vision, and you're going to see that it makes a difference for you. So it's about like also really being honest with yourself about what type of place you're into. It's like if you've been wanting somebody to come through for you, like trying to manifest a new person, are you still hung up on your ex? Like, are there still tendencies that may be blocking someone to come through because there's still some stuff that you need to work on? All of these things. And the more honest with yourself, the more clear this path is going to be for you, and it's not going to be so confusing as to like why something isn't coming through for you, or why something isn't working, or why you haven't heard news back from that job that you applied to, like all of these things. So really important not to just be like, yes, this is what I'm trying to manifest, and kind of just like saying it in that way. It's about truly believing in what it is that you're manifesting, and trusting that your guides are working with you, that your angels are working with you, that the universe is working with you, and that what it is that you're trying to manifest is absolutely going to come through for you. And also too, checking the intention space and being like, is this something that's coming from a balanced place? Is this something that's coming from a healthy place? Is this something that I feel like would be in alignment with my highest good? Would this work for the other person? Is like the other person on the same page? Or what am I looking for? What type of job do I want? So it's about like getting real and asking yourself these questions, and really not shying away from digging all of these things up and getting to the bottom of them, to really understand where your heart lies and also where you are within your process too. So I'm hearing a multi-threaded process. Threads meaning like kind of like trains of thoughts or areas that you can focus on and go through. Very interesting. But yeah, that is something for sure that I noticed too, about like people like hoping that somebody's going to come through, yet they're still very focused on their ex and still are like working through things like that. Or it's like you want a new job, and you don't want to be at your job anymore, but there's a sense of like still not being willing to like take the leap of faith and try out something new. And there's nothing wrong with not being ready for something too, right? It's about being honest with yourself and being like, if I'm open to this opportunity and it presents itself, like, am I actually going to leave my job and hop to that like dream job that I have? Or do I feel like I'm not ready yet? Do I feel like I still need to prepare for it? Things like that. I'm hearing something about a special message. A special message. Interesting. I don't know what this special message is. I suppose you will. Alright, we're starting with the Two of Wands here. preparation, feeling like you're at a crossroads, maybe trying to figure out where you want to go from here as well. It seems like forming some type of plan is going to be helpful for you at this time, and if you need to like call in extra assistance to go about investing in that is what I'm hearing. I'm seeing a link to the past here. I'm going to see what this is about. Intuitively, what it feels like to me is that there may be something from the past that you're still holding on to, and it's something that feels unpleasant to you, yet there's still the resistance to letting this go, is what it looks like to me. Yeah, it feels like you're at a point where a decision needs to be made as well. It's like, are you going to open yourself up and embrace the new, or are we still going to be like resisting letting go of that stuff from the past? Where are we with that? For some of you, I'm looking at a partnership. Something that you're very focused on, something that you're learning more about. For some of you, this is a sense of kind of like opening yourself up and being like, maybe you met somebody recently, maybe you were about to meet somebody recently, and there's a sense of like, initially, when you come into contact with this person, being like, yeah, immediately I feel an attraction with this person, I feel chemistry, like this is mutual, so it's something that's going on both ends, and then there's this sense of like learning about this person, about getting to know this person, and being like, do I want to maybe take this a step further? Do I want to like make more of a commitment with this person? And like figuring out what's right for you, especially when it comes to the timing too. It's like, I'm also hearing, is this something that I'm ready for as well? Because I will say this too, because this has also been a theme that's been coming up. Sometimes when we jump too quickly into something and like our heart isn't completely ready for it, we kind of like scurry back in a way to like what was familiar to us. It's like maybe you're trying to, this is just an example, maybe you're like putting yourself out there and trying to meet somebody new, and it's like you meet somebody new and you hang out with them and like maybe things happen, something like that, and it's like maybe you like get a bit set off by that. I just saw 8:44 on the time, and it's like it feels intimidating, or you feel a little bit like nervous or scared, and then you like go and call your ex that night because that's what feels familiar to you. So this is all about checking in with yourself and moving at a pace that you feel comfortable with, and don't jump the gun as well. And really be aware too of what it is that you're looking for. If you have certain things that you're trying to manifest and that you're looking for in someone. Because I'm seeing like really your sense of reflection and looking within when it comes to like what is ideal for you, when it comes to chemistry, when it comes to a partnership, when it comes to like initially what you would want to be experiencing, like reflecting on these things so that you're recognizing it when this opens up for you and enters into your life. And to constantly be working, it's like the work doesn't end when you meet someone and things go well. There's still a sense of like needing to work through the relationship. Like partnerships are always about balance and like the yoga, the dynamic of all of that, and working together and growing with one another and learning from one another. Because there's a lot more than just chemistry that goes on behind a relationship that keeps it together. Yeah, and for some of you too, there's still a sense of like needing to reflect and needing to work on that heart space too, because it seems like there was a past experience that you had, and there may be some fear that you're still recognizing within the heart space. It's like, yeah, this person hurt me really badly, or like I felt like I was really deceived by this person and I don't want that to be happening again. So there's a sense of like needing to move beyond that. So when somebody comes through, because this is what I'm getting here. If we don't check in with ourselves and understand where we are with something, meaning if you had an experience with someone and it felt very damaging to you and you have not completely healed from this, somebody that may be like a perfect match for you could walk in, and rather than being able to see them as they are, you're going to project the suspicion and all of that onto this person and be like, you're just going to be like the last person, or you're going to somehow sabotage the relationship. So this is about you like truly being honest with yourself. So you're like understanding whether you're ready or not for something to come through, and whether or not you need to still work on something for yourself. And only you can tell. Nobody else is going to be able to tell you what you're ready or what you're not ready for. This is all about you and how you check in with yourself. And really being honest with yourself in that way. Because if something doesn't work out, you're the only one that's going to be like dealing with the consequences of that. So it's all for you. All of this checking in is for you. And that's what helps you heal too. Because you're analyzing like where your fears are and like what you might want to bring up into the conversation. And what is unnecessary to be bringing into the conversation. It's like, are we still going to be bringing that duffel bag of like karma and luggage into this next relationship? Or do you want to have both your hands free when you enter into this? I'm here so you can clasp them tightly with this person. So it's all about like the more things that are weighing you down before you get into a relationship, the more it's then going to impact and affect that new relationship. So this is too, again, about being like, what am I carrying with me? And also being aware of that as well. Yeah, I'm still seeing so many lingering feelings here when it comes to like a past relationship and how you were hurt by that person and how you felt like they had evaded you in some sort of way. And like still having this connection too. And this could have been somebody that hurt you, yet you had like a lot of chemistry with them. And so it may be something more difficult to move on from. So this is also about checking in with yourself and being like, am I actually ready to let this go? Is this time? Because sometimes too, until we fully commit to being like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to go back to that, there's a sense of still not allowing something to come through. So sometimes keeping your options open can actually affect what's going to be coming through for you. So this is about checking in with yourself and understanding that as well, and how that's impacting you. Because if you're still open to the possibility of something from the past, you still have that energetic connection there. So that's part of where your energy is going into, rather than putting it all into what you're manifesting in regard to what you want new to come into your life. And that means holding any type of thought space about a past relationship as well. Because the way that we cut cords, cut ties with people from our past is when anytime we start like drifting into that space, we have to thought stop what's going on and kind of like change the tune of where our energy is drifting to, and to be mindful and aware of that. And I know I've said this before too. If you are still, and there's nothing wrong with this, you're still processing, everybody has their own process, so just know there's no like shaming or judgment here. I'm just relaying information. If you still feel the need to like bring up an ex, if you still feel the need to be commenting about an ex, if you still feel the need to be like entertaining that energy, it means that you still are maintaining that connection actively. It's not just about like being face to face with a person. You may not have spoken with someone for 10 years, but it's like still when you're talking to your friends, you're talking about that ex and what happened. You're still maintaining that energetic connection. So it's about being aware and understanding that like on a plane that is as real as being in contact with someone in the physical plane too. And I hope you know as well, like, this is not me trying to shut down anybody talking about like their relationships or whatever you want to. There's just a sense of awareness that also needs to come along with that, so you understand what exactly it is that you're doing. Because it's like, go for it. If you still need time and you still want to be like talking about your ex and thinking about them and all of that stuff, then that's completely cool. But you have to know too that that means you're maintaining that energetic connection still. So this is just for awareness purposes. Because what you do with your life is your own business, right? So in this spread, I'm looking at a highlight of Gemini, Virgo, and Aries. I'm hearing sound familiar. The guide's got jokes today. For some of you too, this is about kind of giving yourself a pep talk as well. Because if you've been through an experience with someone in the past that you are not trying to repeat again, this is about you sitting with yourself and being like, I completed my karmic lesson and I'm not going to be experiencing that again. And like really sit with yourself and like truly believe yourself when you're telling yourself that. Yeah. I'm hearing what's done is done. It seems like this is a very, very, very big interpersonal clearing out of past cycles, of things that you no longer want to hold on to. And the first step of doing that is being aware of what still has your energy connected to it. So it really does feel like we're finally getting in a place where we're clearing cycles and just leaving what's happened, putting it to rest. So you don't have to be holding on to that anymore. And you'll notice too, when we start being more aware of where our thoughts are drifting to as well, and you start stopping and focusing it somewhere else, you're going to realize how much more energy you have to be focusing on the things that you do want. The positive scenarios, the ways that the universe is gracing you. Feels like a very big feat. For some of you, this is going to feel like one of the most difficult things that you're doing, too. Because when we get Capricorn, when we get the devil involved in this is all about transcending the obstacle of like what is most obvious and understanding the illusion of that and getting deep underneath it. Because this also speaks about the attachments that we have, and it's very, very comfortable when we have attachments. I know I've quoted this before. When we talk about attachments, it's about like the distorted attempt to reach the light through your senses. So it's like these things that may feel comfortable, but you feel like they kind of have this like looming control over you in some type of way because you have that attachment to it. So it's like these are the most difficult things that we have to let go of when it comes to people, when it comes to our relationships, when it comes to habits that we want to move beyond, and getting to that place where you're actually ready to recognize what has been going on and what you don't want to hold on to anymore. Because there's a sense of being like, yeah, I know that this may be unhealthy or this may be obsessive or I just can't get over this. There's a sense of like unwillingness when it comes to like budging that stuck energy. But it really feels like getting to the point where enough is enough, because you don't want to be controlled by that. This is about you taking the initiative and taking back control of your life in a way where maybe you feel like it had, I'm hearing slip to your grasp. And the key is about setting boundaries with yourself. This is the thing too as well. This is also about staying in your lane and being like, regardless of what that past person is doing, I'm not going to be checking up on them, like not even focusing and wondering about what they're doing with their lives as well. It's about solely focusing on you, solely focusing on your spiritual and healing journey. Yeah, and having patience with yourself as well, because this is not a process that you're going to be able to speed race through. This is about you taking all of these changes with as much grace as possible. And allowing yourself the time you need to really be finished with this. Because your new way of living is going to be waiting for you as soon as you're ready for it. So this is about knowing that too. So like if you're not ready to let go of something, that's okay. That's just where you are right now. And when you are ready to let go of it, your healing journey and your next steps are going to be waiting for you as soon as you turn and face in the other direction. So this is also about not judging yourself. And being like, yeah, I am going through something difficult. Remembering too, progress is not linear. Some days you don't think about this person. Some days you do think about this person. And just being like, yeah, that's my process right now. And this is what's happening. And I'm constantly working to be the best that I can be. And allowing that to be enough for you too. I'm also getting something here too about not shying away from like happy opportunities. It's like not shying away from the things that feel like they bring a sense of joy into your life too, and like engaging more so in things that feel fulfilling to you. It's like rather than circulating that energy where you feel helpless, this is about focusing on the things that feel like a guiding light to you. And to kind of like zone in on that energy. Because that's really what's going to break you out of this stuck space of feeling sometimes like you can't get away or you can't break the bond of something. For some of you too, there may be a sense as well of worrying about things in the 3D. It's like worrying about finances, worrying about the family structure. For some of you, there also may be like even a new role that you're taking on, a new job that you're taking on, a new career that you're taking on. It's like maybe some of you also feel like you're prioritizing like work, 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 and what's going on in your personal life, and like how are you nurturing yourself? Are you doing the self-care that you feel you need to be doing for yourself? Or is this something that you're avoiding because you're so focused on making money? So it's about finding that balance for yourself. And it's like checking in too, like how am I coping with things? Do I feel good about my coping strategies? Do I want to learn new coping strategies? Is there a healthier way I want to go about living my life? Like, where in my life can I tweak things? Where in my life do I feel satisfied? Where am I doing a good job? And it's about too knowing that if you want to change, the change is going to come, being patient with yourself. This also feels too like there could have been areas of your life, or like maybe even on a whole, where you kind of feel like the color has been sucked out of your life in a way. So it feels kind of like the colors are bleeding back in now, and like the more patient you are with yourself and the more gracefully you handle this, and the more you keep moving to a place of finding that inner peace that you've been looking for, there's a sense of like allowing this light to come back into your life in a way that maybe you had felt you were missing before. Maybe you were feeling like it was something that you had lost touch with in a way. And in finding this sense of stability for yourself, showing up for yourself, being reliable for yourself, there's a sense of like working through this inner conflict that you feel about like not being able to move on and not being able to find that peaceful place for yourself. So this is too about believing in that as well. And knowing that as much as this is a struggle, it's also something that you can work through if you believe that you can. It seems too that those of you that are putting in a lot of work right now when it comes to like yourself and shaping your life and like doing all of this work, there's going to be a process of you getting to a point where you're going to feel like you can finally breathe, and that may be something that you had been missing. And this is about you like really tapping into your strength and endurance and your courage and working through this karmic test, like these karmic experiences that you're having. And finding that state of equilibrium, that state of equanimity. Knowing too that times when like you may feel like your mental health is affected, knowing that that's also normal too. When we're going through changes, we can feel uneasy about that. It can feel unsettling. It's new territory. It can be ambiguous. We're naturally feeling uncomfortable with ambiguity, as humans are creatures of habit. So this is also about getting okay with the way that you're feeling too. And again, not judging yourself for that. It's like you're feeling a type of way and you're there acknowledging that you're feeling a type of way about something and being like, yeah, this is how I'm feeling right now. That doesn't mean you need to go out and do something about it. It means you're acknowledging that. It means you're witnessing what it is that you're feeling, and you're not judging yourself for it. You're allowing it to come, you're allowing it to go. So it's about that as well for yourself. Looking at Sagittarius and Capricorn in this spread. And it really does feel like discovering new things in a way where you're expanding your experience and going beyond the things that you had been used to in the areas of your life where you were feeling like stuck or stagnant. It's about breaking out of that. Breaking out of old patterns that you feel aren't in alignment with your highest good. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.